welcome back everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. We're reading some AmITheDevil today, which is AmITheGayhole's like evil brother or something. And I'm so excited and I hope you guys are too. As always, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it and I hope you have a wonderful time. So, AmITheGayhole for telling my tenant that she's nasty and being angry that I was given no notice. I've got a home that I rent rooms out in, and my tenants generally live in their rooms for the remainder of their lease. Sometimes they do break their lease, and as a landlord, I'm usually upset when they do, because it leaves no time for me to rent to a new tenant and the rooms could be empty for months, which would cost us lots of money to be lost. In our home, our roommates do cleaning once a month for the bathroom since it is shared, and I have my tenant who hasn't cleaned it not once this month. She cleaned it last month, but not this month. We asked her to clean it, and she said that she would when she got off work. However, she never did. She just showered and went to bed. This morning, my tenant was bringing all of her belongings downstairs into a truck, and I realized that she was moving. She gave us no notice at all since she said that she didn't want tension. She also said that her lease ends today, so she has the right to leave manatee nothing. What are you talking about manatees for? Was that a really funny autocorrect? Wow, that's so funny. I love manatees. She was saying that her lease ends today, so she has the right to leave mainly nothing since she paid her month's rent. She also stated that she didn't need to pay back the deposit that we agreed to use towards rent. I argued with her and I told her that she's practically nasty. She left curly hairs in the shared bathroom and the bathroom trash was full of tissue. She said that I would always turn down the TV when she talks on the phone, that I eavesdrop on her conversations, that I have too many rules like requiring room checks for cleaning or requiring that she doesn't do laundry past a certain time. I personally feel that I should have been given notice and also that the bathroom should have been cleaned whether it was her last day or not. Am I the gay hole? Right, so you're saying that she gave you no notice, but in the very same sentence you said that her lease was ending today. So what, you didn't know the lease was ending? Yeah, like this comment says, that I have too many rules like requiring room checks. Yeah, you the a-hole. No big surprise that somebody wouldn't want to tell you that they're leaving when you'd be angry and probably treat them even more weirdly during the notice period. Yeah, for sure, it definitely makes sense that they didn't want to tell OP. And also the top comment, yeah, you the a-hole, because you were given notice. Her lease ends that day, so you knew the lease was ending. She didn't try to renew the lease and you didn't do any follow-up. Why is she paying back a deposit if she paid a deposit? If the deposit was used for rent, then that means that you don't have to pay back the deposit. You're the landlord. A deposit is something you pay the tenant back when they move out, provided they haven't damaged the property above the amount of the deposit. Also, requiring room checks for cleaning or requiring that she doesn't do laundry past a certain time. What the hell? Get out of here with that BS. They're adult paying tenants. Unless it's causing an actual health hazard, you don't get to just tell them they need to clean their rooms. Yeah, that's so wild. And also this comment, probably the most important comment here. Info. Why drag an innocent manatee into this mess? Yeah, come on. What did the manatees do? Oh, they left the rubbish bin full of tissues and they did laundry a little bit too late. Okay, the next one is called Am I the Gay Hole for being honest to my brother about why he's being excluded? My 34 female, brother 26 male, told me that he's upset because he feels like everybody ignores him and excludes him out of things. He told me that nobody ever invites him to any events. He said nobody calls or texts him. He was upset that he found out that all of our siblings have a group chat and that he's not a part of it. He also told me at work how some of his colleagues ignore him and don't invite him out to events outside of work hours. I had to be honest to my brother about why he's in this position. I basically told him that he's essentially excluding himself and that his behavior is the reason why he's being left out. He spends the majority of his free time in his room on the laptop. He hardly leaves the house besides going to work. He doesn't have any other hobbies or interests. He doesn't make an effort himself to engage with people and reach out to people. He isolates himself from everybody. I told him that you can't expect people to include you and reach out to you when you hide in your room all day and you don't make an effort yourself to engage with people. My brother got upset when I told him this, but I felt like he needed to hear it because it's the truth. Yeah, like I can sort of see where you're coming from, OP, but I don't think you did it the right way. And also, what do you mean he's not in the group chat? What's that about? Why is he not in the group chat? And also, this entire interaction where he's telling you that he's upset, how is that not him reaching out to you? Yeah, like this comment says, you the yay hole. While I understand what you're trying to say here, and that it is true that social interactions do require reciprocity, I think you picked the most a-hole way to go about communicating this, and excluding him from the group chat was unnecessary and hurtful when having him in it was not causing an issue, unless you feel inactivity is somehow an inexcusable offense. I'm not here to play armchair psych, but have you ever considered that maybe your brother is struggling with his mental health? I know a lot of people who have done this because they're deeply depressed or struggling with a lot of social anxiety. It's so hard to climb out of that when you fall into this kind of routine of being isolated and you don't know how to get your social footing back. I don't think the solution solution to him being withdrawn is to slam the door on him to teach him a lesson, I'm concerned that it's only going to make him even more reclusive and feel even more unwanted. I feel like there were better ways to go about the discussion. Yeah, and also I feel like it's missing a lot of information, like why is he not in the group chat? Yeah, and also this comment, you the a-hole, you say that he doesn't make an effort to reach out. What the hell is he doing when he tells you that he feels excluded then? You know, like for all we know, the family is awful and mean or something. Like there's a lot of information that isn't here. And like, yeah, of course, if he wants to maintain friendships and stuff, he 100% has to put effort in. I feel like that's pretty obvious. But the thing about this post is, it seems like OP and the family are kind of mean. Yeah, like this comment, none of the reasons you listed is enough for him to be ostracized by people, especially family. Why the hell is he not in the family group chat? That's ridiculous, and y'all aren't the a-holes for that. Does he ever make attempts to be sociable? He sounds like an introvert or somebody with social anxiety. And there's a comment under that one that says, in a comment above, OP says that brother was in the group chat, and they made a new group chat without the brother because the brother didn't participate enough to please the siblings. They're all wildly the a-hole. Yeah, right, there's a comment here from OP that said we had a group chat before, but he was never active in it. Yeah, like the comment under that says, but why make a new one? It's fair to point out that he doesn't involve himself, but remaking one to exclude him is crappy too. Yeah, I feel like there's way more to this than what OP's saying. Okay, the next one is called, am I the a-hole for kicking my son out of my house after he said bad things about me to his friends? I, 40 male, have a son, 18 male, who was accepted to college. I was so happy because I didn't have that opportunity. I dropped out of school to help my family of 8 siblings. Today, I work in a managerial position without a diploma. When my son got accepted, I asked him to gather the necessary documents for his college registration. Since I'm not tech savvy, I asked an employee to help with the registration. My son kept on making excuses about the documents, saying that some could only be obtained online. On the last day for registration, he gave me the documents, but the college website wouldn't accept the login credentials. I tried calling him, but he didn't answer. When I got home, he confessed that he hadn't been accepted and had lied to me out of fear. I felt deeply disappointed. I'd been telling everybody about his acceptance, and I'd been working overtime to buy him a car as a gift. In anger, I told him he was a disappointment, which I regret saying. The next day, I wanted to apologize and discuss his future options, but he was out with friends. I used our shared computer and I found a conversation where he and his friends insulted me and called his friends his real family. It seemed like he left the computer on for me to see it. When he got home, I yelled at him and I told him he had until the end of the year to get a job and move out. He cried, saying I was overreacting, but I stood firm. Now his grandparents are arguing with me to change my mind, but I feel justified. I've always tried to be a good father, and this betrayal hurts deeply. So am I the a-hole? Oh my god, imagine how it feels to be called a disappointment. I don't understand why you feel like this was the right way to handle it, OP. And also, the son said that he didn't tell his dad out of fear. So what does the dad do? He yells at him and threatens to kick him out. That's not the right way to handle that. The top comment says, you the a-hole, don't ask later on, why doesn't my son talk to me anymore? This is the reason. If my child ever told me she was scared to tell me something, I'd be falling over myself trying to make it up to her, not kick her out. You betrayed the love that your son has had for you. Do better as a dad. And the comment under that says, exactly, his son needs support, and OP instead is taking everything personally like he's the main character. Yeah, and the comment under that one too. You the a-hole, you might want to ask yourself why he was afraid to share him not being accepted with you. Calling him a disappointment only piled more of that feeling onto him. You read a private conversation and you didn't like what you saw. That's on you. You shouldn't have read it. Kids mouth off to friends all the time, just like adults do. You may have found awful things said to others, but you said awful things to his face, and yet the son lied about getting accepted, but he lied about getting accepted out of fear. Like, come on, OP, that's so sad. In a situation like this where your child lied out of fear that you'd be disappointed, that's when you be supportive, not actually say, oh, I'm disappointed in you. No, that's not even what they said, is it? They said they are a disappointment. Like, I feel like that's the opposite of how you're meant to react in that situation. There's a comment here that said, you just keep on making the same mistake over and over. He's so afraid of disappointing you that he makes up a ridiculous lie that he had to know would eventually be found out. And then, instead of apologizing for making him think that you'd be disappointed, you literally tell him how disappointed you are in him. Then, when he feels like you're rejecting him and tells his friends that at least he'll have them as family, you literally reject him and kick him out, or threaten to kick him out. Instead of ever asking yourself what you can do to make sure your son feels more secure and confident, you attack him. Yeah, you the a-hole. Yeah, that's such a good comment. And also this one, you the a-hole. With your first reactions being to tell him that he was a disappointment, it becomes pretty clear why he was afraid to tell you the truth. In other words, you phrased him in such a way that he's afraid to share with you when something goes wrong, or when he achieves a bad result in something. So this is probably in line with how you usually respond to such things to begin with. I wouldn't even be surprised if the things he told his friends were eventually caused by your behavior towards him as well. You then telling him he effectively has until the end of the year before you abandon abandon him just compounds your earlier mistakes. You really like doubling down on your mistakes, don't you? Yeah, not good. The next one is called Am I the A-hole because I took all the leftovers home after a work party? I've worked at this company for 3 years. My 3-year anniversary landed on the same day of my significant other proposing. And to top it off, I'm getting promoted. I was expecting at least something from my co-workers, like a small party or a gift or nothing fancy. I was pretty hurt when I came in that week to find nothing. There were congrats and well dones, but nothing else. I cried my eyes out later to my significant other and I expressed how uncared about I felt. He contacted one of my co-workers, soon to be an employee, and she went to my manager and set something up. They had a little buffet in the break room, just common stuff like a veggie platter and dips and chips and sweets and cookies and tarts and brownies and some banners. At the end of the day, I took the leftovers home with me on the plates and Tupperware that they came in on. The co-worker, again my soon-to-be employee, texted me that next day asking if I took the sweets that she made along with the plates. I said yeah, and she got super hostile. Yeah, why would you take them, OP? Apparently she wanted to keep those in the break room for those unable to attend the party so they could still eat, and nowhere did it say that this was all for me. Yeah, I don't know why you assumed it was all for you, OP. She also needed the platter plate back because she was making a birthday cake for her niece. Yeah, that makes sense. My significant other and I both agreed that it was wrong for her to text me like that. No, it wasn't. And seeing as it was my party, if I wanted the leftovers, I deserved them. Oh, you're so entitled, OP. But he thinks I should apologize to keep the peace. No, you should apologize because you're wrong and you're being entitled. If I'm not wrong, I don't see the point. Update, stop saying that I forced my significant other to contact my co-worker. That was his own choice and never once did I imply I improved or wanted him to do that. I only took the Tupperware because I had nothing else to carry the leftovers in. I try to make all of my employees feel special and celebrate their achievements, so I had more expectations out of them than I should have. That was my mistake. Oh, OP, this is so entitled. Like, why did you feel like you deserved this and expected this anyway? It all comes off so ungrateful. Yeah, the top comment, you the a-hole, you don't deserve anything. No wonder nobody organized anything. You sound incredibly entitled. Edit, and to add further, OP, you really need to change your attitude if you're going to manage people. Edit number 2, OP, I'm glad you created a burner account because you're getting roasted here. I'm going to level with you. I don't believe your update. I don't think you do anything special for your co-workers. I've worked at places where somebody who did what you claimed you do got promoted. We had a small party for them without needing a prompt from their significant other to call in. The fact that you felt like it was acceptable to take home all the leftovers, that's massively entitled on its own. You then took somebody else's property with it. I can't stress how wrong you are to do any of this. Yeah, the taking it home is so wild. Like, oh yeah, I deserve them. Come on. No, you don't. And yeah, you're literally taking their containers. And this comment too, laughing my ass off. You deserve the leftovers. No, you don't. And why do you expect anything material? A congrats should have been enough in my opinion. So yeah, you the a-hole. And an entitled one, I must say. Yeah, that's what I was thinking immediately when they said that everybody was saying congratulations and stuff. Like, that's even nice that people were doing that. But to cry your eyes out because people only said congratulations and there wasn't like some big party or something, that's so unbelievably entitled. And this comment too, you the a-hole, how old are you? Your co-workers are soon to be employees, as you put it. Yeah, that's another thing. They kept on saying that, like, you're about to be my employee. Do not owe you a party because you worked at a company for 3 years, or the fact that you got promoted, or the fact that you got engaged, period. It's something that co-workers do if they feel like it, and not because they feel obligated to. The fact that none of them wanted to until you cried to your boyfriend speaks volumes of how they actually feel about you on an interpersonal level. You might want that to sink in for a bit. And also, office etiquette is if there's any leftovers, you leave them at the office so that anybody who wasn't able to attend gets some as well. And to take the containers and the plates as well makes you an even bigger a-hole. Yeah, I can't get over that. So entitled. Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. That was so bad. The next one is called Am I the a-hole for not accepting my dad's bribe? About 4 weeks ago, my male 17, older sister Sarah, female 21, had to empty out her apartment and move all her things back home. Her rent had increased a lot and her landlord was slow in making repairs. Our parents, male 53 and female 52, offered to store most of her stuff in our basement until she finds a new place to live in for when she starts school again in the fall. Our house's basement has kind of been my personal space where I usually hang out with my friends or play video games. However, Sarah's things are taking up nearly all the space and there's no longer any space for me and my buddies. I understand she's in a tough spot, but I'm becoming more annoyed with this. Yesterday evening, I sat down with my dad and I told him that I needed some space in the basement. My dad listened and said that he acknowledged my situation. He said that he understood the inconvenience, but kept on mentioning that Sarah was in a tough spot and that the arrangement was temporary. When I pointed out it's been 4 weeks, he again asked for my patience. When I tried to continue the conversation, my dad interrupted me. He suggested that he could pay me rent for the basement and allow Sarah's stuff to stay there. He started pulling out his wallet and everything. I was annoyed by this as I thought that he was being dismissive and I refused his offer. My dad was pretty surprised by this and and rescinded his offer and apologized for not fully listening to me. He then said that he was serious about paying me for the remaining time that the basement was being occupied, but I yelled at him saying that he had completely missed what I was telling him. He got frustrated and said that I needed to be more empathetic. When I tried to speak up again, he told me that there was no longer anything to discuss. Am I the a-hole? Update for those wondering, yeah, I've got my own room, but it isn't nearly as spacious as the basement. Anyway, I mentioned my irritation with the situation to my mum this evening, as I don't think my dad will be receptive to it anymore. Oh, this is another entitled one. Come on, OP. Yeah, you do need to be empathetic. And she thinks I'm being unfair. She said, well, she does understand that I'm upset. This was the only tenable solution and that I had to be more accommodating, and how I have other options for space. She even said that right now Sarah's need for that space trumps yours. Yeah, it does, OP. I wanted to press the issue further, but my mum started giving me her "you're in trouble if you keep talking" face, so I decided to drop it. I understand that Sarah's in a tough spot, but I can't help but feel that I'm being overlooked and ignored by my parents. Yeah, but you even said that you've got your own room, OP. You're talking about a basement that you hang out in. Obviously, you've been enjoying the space. It's completely fair that Sarah uses it, especially when she's in a hard spot. So entitled, like the last one that we read. Yeah, this comment, you the a-hole, you're lucky he even offered you compensation for not being able to access a room that he owns. Yeah, that's so wild. I would have told you tough luck. Stop acting so entitled and realize that the world doesn't revolve around your wants. Yeah, and that's how the post reads too. Like OP genuinely feels like the world does revolve around their wants. And yeah, that was so generous of the dad to even offer that. And the comment under that one too. You the a-hole 100%, my guy. You don't have to pay rent. You have no idea how the real world works, and it's so obvious. I'm 20 and I still live with my parents because rent is so tough. However, if one of my siblings needed to store their stuff in my personal room, no matter how much I hated it, I'd let them and we'd work it out. This isn't even your room, it's the basement. You don't pay rent, bud. It's not your house. Your father is an incredible man for being so patient. This isn't your house. You and your buddies can find a new place. Figure it out. Show some love towards your sister. She's your damn sister. You should be ashamed for acting like this. You the a-hole 100%. Yeah, definitely. I don't feel like there's much more to that one. And I feel like that's enough for today. Wow, that was a roller coaster ride of emotions, that episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and let me know down below if you did. And let's read something wholesome. Well, maybe if you bundled yourself up and went for a walk out in the cold and then came back inside with rosy cheeks and cool skin and warmed yourself up with a nice warm cup of herbal tea with honey, maybe then you'd calm down. Yeah, that's so cute. And definitely, I feel like that would work. It says there, I don't know why this post is doing so many numbers, but I love that it's inspiring people to get outside and go on their own little walks. Yeah, that's so beautiful. You're laying in bed. Very good. It's the perfect temperature. It starts raining. Yeah, there's something about that that's so good. I don't even understand why either. Absolutely heavenly. I painted this for my husband. It was the first piece I ever finished. He never stops talking about the cat that he had growing up, so this was the best that I could give him. Wow, that's so sweet. Like, you didn't need to do that, but you did. That's really beautiful, and that would be so meaningful too. He'll cherish that forever. This is how baby elephants drink water. They don't know how to use their trunks to drink until they're about 9 months old. Wow, so they like fully submerge their mouth? That's so cute. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'll figure it out. Hell yeah, baby elephant. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did, make sure you let me know down below, and also like and also subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to I'm Sadie. My cat's name is Belle, and she drove me crazy waking me up last night. I think she doesn't understand why I sleep so long. Yeah, that's so cute, but so frustrating. I hope she doesn't keep driving you crazy. All the best with that, and say hi to Belle for me. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for all the support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself, and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!